Hey guys, Dave from Dave's Toy Shopworks here, and on this video we're going to do kind of an unboxing and explanation, I suppose. This is a brand new Chinesium intake manifold for my 1967 Dodge Dart. It's a knockoff of a good brand, knockoff of an Edelbrock. So it's a Performer RPM air gap, but the Chinese version. You get these pretty cheap on Amazon or eBay, and well, this is the first one I've ever bought. I've always bought the good intakes, but frankly, when the good intakes are made overseas anyway, and then had an Edelbrock finishing and stamping put on them, what's the big deal? Quality, quantity, price, right? As we try to hot rod and economic times keep getting tighter and tighter, we need to find different ways to do it, and I am not above Chinesium parts. So let's open this thing up and see what we have. Don't play with knives. Alright, don't play with knives. Funny story, it says, fragile, please handle with care. It came in this long box with no extra packing material or anything, and basically it was free to slide back and forth in it. And if you look here, we have damage on the box. I'm not sure what that's gonna show up, if anything. Hopefully the intake manifold is as okay as it's going to be. Well, first off, the packaging's pretty good. Not much different than picking up an Edelbrock. I got a piece of paper in here from JG Hyper. I don't know. Installation instructions. Yeah, it even says RPM air gap 340 360 Chrysler V8 or 318 using 340 360 cylinder heads. The air gap design separates runners, blah 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 blah. We all know what the air gap does. The part number that they give it, I wonder if it's not the exact same part number. Okay. What are these? Manifold, carburetor. They're even listing Edelbrock carburetors, Performers, Thunder Series. Manual chokes, electric chokes. Like, come on, guys. That's pretty funny. Okay, let's get this guy open here. Okay, after the instructions, it comes with this gear here. Let's open up this little pack and see what all is in here. Okay, these are plugs, and I'll show you where the plugs go in a few minutes. These washers, I guess you would use them with the 5/16 bolts that hold down a Magnum intake manifold. I don't know if you wouldn't be able to use them with the 3/8 bolts that hold down an LA style intake. Now we got a few core plugs, pipe plugs, and these are for various coolant passages and whatnot. 1, 2, and 3. 1/8 one. That's interesting, but we'll see what they're all about. And this little bracket here, I'm not sure what it is for yet, but we'll take a look in a moment. Now the intake manifold itself. Oh, we're gonna have a problem. Alright, I will leave one of the core plugs out. There, better. Okay. Let's pull this guy out of here. And here is our first real look at the intake. Now, inside here, the ports look decent. Yeah, I got no complaints about that. Typical vacuum port for brake booster. This is a coolant port, an extra one. We'll be blocking him off. Could use it for a temperature sensor actually, but I don't have a need for it because we have plenty of ports up here for where the factory temperature sensor goes. Again, another port to plug off. I believe my temp sensor is actually a 1/8 pipe thread, so that's kind of nice. I don't have to use a bushing. Okay, 1, 2, 3. This looks like another raised area for, I don't know what that would be for. But let's have a little looky. You know, I don't see a place for that little steel bracket. This guy. The bolt holes are too small to fit for the bolts, like the mounting bolts for the intake. Too small. Yeah. They're even too small for these, for the 1/4 inch bolts for the intake, or 5/16, sorry. I don't know. Let's see if the instructions say anything. No, it says kit contents, 1/8 pipe thread, 1/4 inch pipe thread, and a 3/8 pipe thread. They're compatible. The one's for EGRs. We don't have EGR on this one. Performer series intake manifolds are designed for engines operating in the idle to 5500 RPM range. Performer RPM series intake manifolds, which this is, are designed for engines operating in the 1500 to 6500 RPM range. Match Performer or Performer RPM intake with recommended carburetors and additional equipment for greater increases. I don't know what this is for. If you guys have an idea, let me know. It's specifically made, but you got me. Okay, we got typical thermostat housing area, which looks nicely machined across. Very nice, actually. Carburetor port top looks good. One little tiny scratch on it, but that's literally nothing. I don't care about that. The casting looks alright. Like, it doesn't look porous or anything. I don't know. I'm not going to pressure check it. And here we are to our intake ports, and these look good. A little bit, like, they're not machined. You can see they're slightly rough. They're not perfect by any stretch. But overall, it looks pretty good. I'm kind of liking it. I'll have to do a test fit back here on my Edelbrock Performer RPM. This has to, I had to grind this open a little bit on the Edelbrock because this is where the distributor sits, and it was hitting the intake manifold. So something to keep in mind there. But these little plugs, this is dual mounting. So if you use the bolt holes down here, this is for LA style. These are for Magnum style, just straight down. And you take these, put them in the hole. Ooh, boy, that's tight. Oh yeah, okay. So you put them in the hole and you tap them in place, and that effectively blocks off the wrong holes. I don't know how a guy's going to tap these ones in place. That's a spot and a half to get to. Like right there. Yeah, I think I might end up actually opening up the hole just a kind of the next like decimal point on a drill bit size, just so these will go in a little bit easier. I don't actually need them. They don't uncover anything that's not used, so I don't know. But they look like a nice finish, and it would be nice to have them in place, you know. Alright, we're going to the big gasket box up in the corner here. And the reason why is I want to see if I have intake manifold gaskets. Nope. Nope, here we go. One intake manifold gasket. This looks like it's for a 360 LA, and that'll be the telltale for us. Not bad at all. A guy could do a little bit of adjusting, but the ports look really good inside. This thing looks good, and honestly, I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, you line up the ports properly. All the ports match up really well. That's almost a little bit better than the Edelbrock, to be honest. So the question becomes, is this a knockoff, or is this just a generational thing that somebody else produced? Almost guaranteed it's a knockoff. I wish I still had my Performer RPM air gap that I ran on my Dart for one summer, but I don't. So I can't do a direct comparison to comparison test. I will say this thing looks good. It looks really good, and I'm going to be happy to bolt it on. Weight wise, feels like I'm holding an Edelbrock. If I close my eyes, it looks like an Edelbrock. Actually, there's very little differences I can say at all. So I'm going to run this intake manifold on my car this summer. I'll actually put it on this spring. See, it even QC pass test number 13. Well, number 13, I hope you did your job correctly, because it looks good. Alright, so why a Chinese intake? Cost. In Canada, I can't get this intake manifold from Edelbrock for less than $700 plus shipping. That puts it out of my price range completely. Now, I have a Mopar Performance M1 single plane intake on my Dart. Why do I want to go to the dual plane? When I had the Edelbrock Performer RPM air gap on my car with the 408 stroker, I ran my best quarter mile time ever. Way better bottom end torque. It still pulled to 66, I think was my shift point. Everything was happy. And yeah, I got my best quarter mile time in that car with the stroker. Now, fast forward to now, and we've got things like blown up 340s and a whole host of engines that didn't survive very long in my car. But that 318 that's in my car, it seems to be doing quite well. Now this intake, they say, is for 340, 360, 318. 318 being on the smaller end of the breathing needs. So I figure if this intake doesn't breathe as well as the Edelbrock Performer RPM out of the box, I'm okay with that, because it'll probably breathe just fine for a 318. I mean, I'm going to find out. I'm also looking for probably a 600 CFM double pumper. I don't want a vacuum secondaries. I don't want an Edelbrock. I want my Holly. Can. And now I do have a 500 CFM 2-barrel, which is a possibility, but I feel like I want a 4-barrel. There we go. Would the 500 CFM 2-barrel feed this thing? Well, it is designed for circle track racing, so yes, it would. Would I be able to get the best fuel economy out of it? I don't know about that. But I haven't tried it either, so we're not going to find out anytime soon. I am going to dig up a 600, at least a 650, hopefully a 600 CFM double pumper Holly with an electric choke. Well, I guess I don't need a choke at all, actually. My Quick Fuel 750 double pumper doesn't have a choke on it at all, and that thing still starts and runs decent. And it's almost tuned quite well, actually, for the 318, but there's certain little latency things that happen when you run too big a carburetor on too small an engine. Things that are almost not tunable. I say almost. It all depends on how hard you want it. I don't really want it that hard. I want crisp throttle response, and you get crisper throttle response out of smaller carburetors. The vacuum signal is stronger, especially when you're running a bigger cam. If you run a smaller carburetor, you're going to just increase that vacuum signal a tiny bit, and the engine will respond better. Am I 100% on that? No, but it sure sounds good. Alright. So that's the deal. That's what this spring is looking like. The dart is going to come back in under the knife, and thankfully not for another engine. At least, I hope not. We're going to put this intake on. I'm going to be changing the rear gear in the car, and I'm going to also do the carburetor, and I have a little bit of work to do to the passenger side header to finish off, I guess, round out the repairs on the driveline that I want to do to the car. But that's where we're going to leave this video, guys, and I hope you found it entertaining. We're going to find out, and I will definitely keep you guys posted on the install, on how it operates, what the car feels like when I'm driving it, because there's nothing like a seat of the pants dyno, let me tell you. Alright, I'm Dave from Dave's Glory Shop Works, and I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all for your subscriptions and for your view time, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good night.